Hey mamas, I'm really glad you're here today. I want to invite you to lighten your load, your emotional load. I know, divorce is full of feelings, triggers, and upsets. I know that you're being pulled from all sides. I know you have big decisions to make, tough conversations to have, new boundaries to set, and some redesigning ahead. I know you are worried about your kids, and simply put, you're just overwhelmed. All of which leads me to this point. Let's release some of that heavy load you've been carrying for longer than you may even realize. There is much you're going to have to show up for, and there is much that gets shoved to the side in the conventional narrative of divorce. But I want to show you the missing link. I want to show you a better path and how you can get on it today. I'm calling this conversation Divorce Baggage. Hi there, mamas. Welcome to the Intuitive Divorce Podcast. I'm Kristen Noel, certified divorce coach and creator of the Best Self Intuitive Divorce, a game-changing program that transforms the experience and outcomes of divorce, one mother at a time. I call it Divorcing Differently. I'm here each week bringing you a quick message to support, inspire, and empower you to achieve the outcomes you want for yourself and your kids. So, let's dive into today's episode. You know, you're probably traveling through this divorce with a lot of baggage. Am I right? There's a lot popping up, a lot of feelings, a lot of overwhelm, a lot of confusion. It's just a lot, and it's exhausting. I've got to fill out that mountain of discovery paperwork. I've got to meet with my attorney. I've got to talk to a financial advisor. I've got to find a way to support my kids through it. I've got to figure out where we're going to live. I've got a ton of big decisions to make. The list is endless. And then there's a lot more that arrives unexpectedly that no one really prepares you for. Feelings, more feelings, and some more on top of that. Where do they all suddenly come from? You're also probably saying to yourself, I don't have a single extra moment to deal with my emotional baggage right now. I'll get to it later. So you don't look in the trunk. You cram more stuff in there, pretend you don't notice it. You don't see how far the car is weighed down, how low it is riding, how it's lost its pep and just isn't running the same way it used to. Hey, you've got more pressing issues to deal with in the moment. Or so you think. But you are that car, mama. That baggage is yours, and toting it around endlessly, especially while trying to navigate a divorce, is actually working against you. You can't deny this one away if you want the results you desire in your divorce and, more importantly, your life. I once walked in your shoes and felt many of the same emotions, experienced much of the same overwhelm, anxiety, and stuckness. None of it helped me with my divorce, but it helped me see what really needed to change. And by change, it wasn't all about my marital status, where and how I lived. It was about me and the journey that had led to here. I didn't yet see it that way, but it's what I now do every day as I walk beside other mamas navigating similar territory. I don't want them to wander aimlessly, continue to fight themselves, i.e., ignore their intuition, and make things harder for themselves and their kids. Yes, it's time to stop wrestling with yourself, mama. I know there's a better path through divorce that yields much better results. When your heart is breaking, few declare that this would be a great time to roll up your sleeves and dive into all your emotional pain. And let's be clear, that's not what I'm suggesting. But there's a hard way and a healing way through this all. It's harder when we deny what's happening, when we refuse to see the writing on the wall, and we keep chugging along business as usual. Haven't you done that for long enough? It's likely contributed to arriving here in the first place. Maybe for you that came in the form of being gaslit, manipulated, emotionally abused. Perhaps you lost yourself along the way and no longer recognize who you are. Maybe you assumed the role of people pleaser, the fixer, the one who attended to everyone's needs first and squeezed yourself right out. Maybe you abandoned yourself and started to boil up with resentment. Maybe you did this long enough that it began to feel like there was no other alternative. However, no matter how far you go, how hard you try, how fiercely you deny, guess what? Where you go, There you and your baggage are. And the more we try to deny, the heavier the load becomes. Now, don't let that scare you. If anything, let it excite you. Because if you're standing on this threshold of change and a new life, whether you initiated the divorce or had one dropped in your lap, you are ready. You get to shift this all. You get to heal. You get to lay down this baggage that you've been toting along. As I repeatedly say, it's actually not about taking on more. It's about letting go so you can clear space for more. And of course, I understand that on any given day during a divorce, you feel like you have limited capacity. Emotional healing doesn't happen at the snap of a finger, but it does get initiated with one. Sidebar, an intuitive divorce is strategic in all the ways one needs to get through the process. We prep for getting those financial ducks in a row, interviewing attorneys to find the right one, having the initial talk with your spouse and kids, getting clear on desired outcomes, implementing support systems, initiating ways to take charge of the process, etc. I know the triggers. I know where mamas get derailed by overwhelm and fear. But the most commonly overlooked component of this equation is you and the condition you are in while making all these big decisions and having all of these tough conversations. That's the game changer in your divorce and forever in your life. Yes, it's that big. No more denying. No more suffocating. No more shrinking. No more staying stuck. No more dragging this pain along behind you. It's time to exhale, to align with your intuition, your greatest ally, your fiercest advocate, your North Star. This is a homecoming, Mama. The sooner you do this, the easier it all becomes. Divorce, navigating life adversity, all of it. It starts with one decision to lean in and find a better path. A better path through life is a better path through divorce. That's an intuitive divorce, where mamas are divorcing smarter, healing faster, protecting their kids, and reclaiming their lives. Maybe it's time to lighten your load. Pack lighter? Move with ease? Did I hear someone say carry on? Thanks for listening to today's episode, but more importantly, for making this time for yourself. If you're a professional, independent mother facing off with divorce, struggling with your emotions, worried about your kids and your future, and want a better way to navigate it all, I've got 2 ways to completely change the trajectory of your divorce and your life starting today. The first is our free divorce workshop. In this training, you'll learn the 3 steps to get off the emotional roller coaster and take control of your divorce so you can save time, money, and heartache for you and your family. Simply go to intuitivedivorce.com/workshop. And the second way is to book a free strategy call with our team, where we'll dive into your situation, your struggles, what you really want, and outline a path to get you there. For a short video and the booking link, go to intuitivedivorce.com/call. Check it out, and I'll see you inside. Now I have a favor to ask you, Mama. If you enjoyed this conversation and were inspired in your own divorce, please subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss future juicy talks. And I'd be so grateful if you'd leave a review so together we can help other mamas walking in the same shoes.